hopefully, prayerfully. All right, so we're going to go live here, and then we're going to go ahead and share it in a minute. All right, Austin, Texas. Yeah, go ahead and chat if you're just joining us. All right, welcome to the live virtual summit 2020. Who thought we would be doing a virtual summit, right? All of you are supposed to be with us live in Vegas, right? So I want you guys just to visualize yourself at the beautiful resort we were going to be at. But the cool thing is, man, I don't know about you, but it's kind of cool to be in our home right now and be able to get the same exact information that you would be getting if you were at our live event. Now, again, this is for those of you that had registered for the virtual summit. This is for those of you that are partnered with Kim and I in different companies that we have partnered with, as well as our world changers. I want to be the first to welcome you. I'm going to be your moderator, your tour guide, and your kickoff speaker of the virtual summit. But I want you all to know, I want you guys to know something. You have some incredible hand-picked leaders, trainers, people that are in the trenches. We didn't want just great speakers. We didn't want just good authors. We didn't want people that have made millions of dollars in the industry 25 years ago. We want people in the industry that are feeling the pain that you feel every day. We want people that have made millions of dollars in the industry that know how to build a business over the last many months, over the last many years, but really more specifically, I was looking for people to speak on this platform like Michelle Barnes. Michelle Barnes does in excess of $30+ million within her team. Amy White is one of the top leaders, up and coming, powerful leaders in our industry. And I get to see firsthand how fast her leadership has rose in the industry. I got to see where she came from in the industry. When you learn from Amy White, you are going to be impressed. She's an incredible communicator, an incredible teacher, and she is replicating an army of leaders within her organization. You're going to hear from Molly Dahlback, and I've known Molly, it feels like she was a little girl, but she was probably more like 19, 20 when I first met her at a Danny Johnson seminar over 15, 20 years ago or something crazy like that. And Molly Dahlback is maybe one of the most humble servanthood leaders I've ever met. You know, even me as a leader, I'm like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm sometimes a little negative on, a question that I ask Molly, and she's just like, I don't know, it'll all work out. She is just the sweetest leader, but she's not just sweet. She's not just a servant leader. She's a baller. She's crushing it. I mean, her team is replicating like wildfire. And again, and that's why I wanted to bring her on. Cliff Braun. Many of you may have heard of Cliff. He did a little teaser last week. Cliff Braun has made millions upon millions of dollars in the industry. He may be one of the most experienced leaders that's going to be speaking in this. Made a lot of money, more money than Kim and I have made in this industry. You're going to learn from people like that and many more. And of course, one of the most up and coming leaders in network marketing, someone that's always been let me take out that word just. Someone that has been raising 4 beautiful babies. Someone that's been putting up with a very high maintenance husband for 22 years. Someone that has been cleaning up the messes of a leader in this industry for 22 years. Someone that's been more behind the scenes person in this industry. But now this woman told her husband, I got this, and I'm going to go build my business. I got this. It's my time. I feel like I'm supposed to build a women's movement. And she referred 13 women that turned into thousands of women. And last month alone, this woman did $1.2 million of sales in her entire team. And she has got one of the fastest growing organizations in the world right now in our entire industry. Some of you may be wondering, who the heck is this woman putting up this high maintenance husband? It's Kim Challan, my wife. And woo, okay. Too early for that. Way too early for that. Wow. Didn't expect to get. Okay, so you guys are going to hear from some powerful speakers. But here's the thing. Today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to share with you what we're going to kick this off. And I want you guys to understand something, a little bit of keynote. Today's going to be around 45, maybe an hour. My goal for every call is to be around 1 hour. and it's going to be through the month of July. We're skipping next Saturday for 4th of July, but every single Saturday, be here at the same time and the same attention that the same hunger as if you want to get one piece of information, one that can change your life, one that can help you with a breakthrough. Okay. I also want to mention, we have decided to make this a virtual summit, a virtual summit, free virtual summit. So if you are a world changer, or you are in the network marketing industry and you have people that you know need to hear this talk that I'm about to give today, or the speakers that are going to be coming up in the following Saturdays, make sure you go to PriorityNetworker.com. And can someone type that in the chat box right now? PriorityNetworker.com. We will expand the Zoom. I didn't know if we'd sell out on the first one, but we did. We're over capacity. We'll have thousands of people watching this. But go to PriorityNetworker.com, or if you're in Savvy or another company that I personally coach with, if you're in Savvy, just go to your team Facebook page, your team, because you want to make sure you get tagged for your company. There's a reason why. Just trust me. Go register there and get your team there. I would tag your team in that and say, hey, go register right now. And then they will be able to watch the replay of what we're going through right now. We are in duplication is about edifying, training, promoting, training, and tagging people to a training link where they can register that can change their life. Duplication is an art form. Duplication is the simplest thing you'll ever do, but for some of you, it could feel like the hardest thing you will ever do in the beginning. It will, okay? For some of you. And there's a lot of reasons why, and that's what you're going to be learning over the next few weeks in this virtual summit, okay? By the way, again, my name is Tom Challan, and the question that I have for all of you, and I want to see this in the Facebook page, and I want to see this in the chat. The question is, if you're ready, I want you to give me your most powerful or blessed, or whatever word comes to your mind that gives you confidence. I want you to put it in the comments right now. Would you do that? What word gives you confidence right now? Put it in the chat right now, okay, on Facebook or on the Zoom. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. Inspiration, relentless, grateful, Carmel. Yes, empower, worth, empower, grateful, life, gratitude, resilience, peace and harmony, positivity. With God, I can accomplish anything. Woo! Inflow, empower, magnetic, empower, Holy Spirit. Yes, I love that. Worthiness, freedom, gratitude. Woo! Overcoming, yes. Faith, strong, financial freedom, give grace. Alicia, Alicia, my sister. Belief, Kim, yes. Unique, grateful. All right, Kim Challan, I think we're ready to go. Is there anything else that you have to share, or announcements that I might have probably forgotten by any chance?
Oh yes, a really, really big one.
Okay, what is it? Go for it. Go for it, beautiful. I know I always miss details.
I wanted to just come on here and introduce you. You didn't miss a single thing. But you guys, as a coach and a speaker, and what he does, honey, you nobody ever gives you a proper introduction. So I wanted to just come on here and really share with you guys who this man is. I live with this man 24/7. We've worked side by side now for 22 years. I watch him. I get to learn from him. And I want you to know that he is a man, number one, you're going to learn an incredible amount of wisdom from. But deep down, you guys have no idea how much he truly cares about your success and seeing you become everything you can be. And I want to just give you a real quick proper introduction, babe. I'll let you fly. But you guys, so I have watched this guy be a brand new greenie in our industry to literally becoming one of the top enrollers and top coaches in the entire world. And he has developed a skill set. Yeah, he's passionate, he's energetic, but you can only get so far with that. He's developed a skill set of psychology, of what it takes to truly connect with people, and it's not a numbers game. He authentically, every single person I watch him connect with, there is an intention to truly get to know that person, and it's heartfelt. I hear him leave the messages and I hear the messages back. It's an art form, but he's authentic. He's learned how to move people through a process of saying yes from the beginning stage to truly helping someone be successful in this industry. He's mastered all those steps. I watched him the other day, literally, was it 2 days ago? Prospected someone from TikTok, moved over to Instagram, and then onto Facebook. And she's now in our ATM group. And I was looking at her and I'm like, babe, this is former Miss Universe you're prospecting here. And I was like, man, teach me your ways, but truly, just get ready, open your minds, get your papers out. And not only are you going to learn from this man, but as you just heard, so many incredible people. But the person you're learning from right now has personally enrolled over 500 people in 1 year, which is consistently 1 to 2 people a day. And those aren't like sending to webinars and people automatically enrolling. It's personal phone calls day in and day out over the phone. We've built teams, multiple teams of over 40,000 people. When he truly honed in his skill sets, every company we've been a part of, we've been the top earners in a short amount of time. And it's truly because of everything you're going to learn during this summit. And so from being personally coached by this man, knowing his hunger, seeing his intensity, his passion, his tears, and really wanting to pour that into you, honey, I just want to say thank you so much for all you do for me and for World Changers and for our community with the company S. And I love you. And I'm so honored to partner and walk beside you on this. So everyone, please help me welcome the amazing Tom Challan.
Thank you. It's so weird not to hear claps and people. It's so cool. And
just imagine we're on stage.
It's so funny. It's such a virtual world. Honey, I love you so much. You are my soulmate. You are my partner. And thank you for being on this crazy, amazing journey with me. I love you so much. And we all cannot wait. When you guys hear Kim Challan speak on what I know she's going to be speaking on, it's going to blow you away. She's always one of the best voted speakers at every event we do. All right, you ready to rock? Let's go. Today we're going to be doing a short talk, one of the shortest talks, because I want to start the foundation of this the right way before we bring on the amazing speakers. And I want to talk to you today about what it takes to go beyond maybe what your mind can conceive with your goals. A lot of you have a goal of 5,000 a month or 1,000 a month or freedom or giving back to orphanages or giving back to your church or whatever that is. Many of you have a goal. My goal today is to help you do something that someone did for me many years ago. They helped me stretch that and show me what's really possible, not just what's possible in my mind. So I want to do my best today to take you on a journey and show you how to go beyond your goals, beyond your dreams, maybe even, because many of you have great dreams, show you how to at least hit your dreams, but maybe go beyond that. And also, more importantly, I've learned in this industry to not just go after goals, not just go after money, not just go after building big teams and big rank and hitting on stage and all that fun stuff. But I also learned that I was created specifically for a purpose, made in the image of God. And I have a job to do on this world, which is a purpose in life that's only designed for me. And the same thing applies for every single one of you. And you have a purpose. You were called and created for a purpose, okay? And what that means is that you've got to start rising up into that purpose of what you were born for that only you can accomplish. And I'm going to start off because this industry showed me how to do something that showed me how to prosper where I'm planted. And why is that important? Why is it important to take advantage? Because some of you are not all in yet. Some of you are in only 90% of the way there, maybe 80%. And if you're even 90% all in, you may think that's a lot, But what I have learned is 90% doesn't mean 90% effort in our industry, maybe other industries, but 90% might give you 30% or 40% actual results. You still get good results, but it's so much simpler to do one thing and make a choice, to make a commitment. I'm going to break that down, what that looks like in a very short period of time, how to make 100% commitment, because it's the simplest thing you ever have to do. It doesn't mean you'll be perfect at prospecting or inviting or sharing or following up or enrolling or duplicating right now. Doesn't mean you'll be perfect at that, but you can make a choice to make a decision to say, I'm just going to go all in. And at the end of this, I'm going to ask for that commitment. Okay. All right, let's get going. Now, I also want you to as we get going with this, I want you to visualize like you are at a live event. Look, there is nothing that can replace being in front of a speaker trainer where you're locked in a room, no kids, no laundry, no looking around at, what's happening in your home right now or wherever you're at in this world. We have people from around the world listening in right now. But I'm going to challenge you that if for some crazy reason you get distracted with these are the best keynote speeches of some of the best leader speaker trainers in the world. This isn't just a regular Saturday training that we do. This is a keynote, which means hours have went into every sentence that these speakers are coming in with. So this is one where you definitely want to watch, maybe rewatch, because they're going to give you a lot of the breakthrough that you may need to help you go beyond your goals, as we're going to do today. But I want to share with you, I'm going to take you on a journey of how I became one of the top enrollers in the industry, what it took for me to go from where I came from, because some of you won't even believe it. And here's the thing I know. The only thing that's preventing you from going from where you're at, from where you are, is what do you have to let go? It's not necessarily a skill that you might need, although that's important. It's not necessarily, just a positive attitude that you need, although that's important. Some of you are carrying around a bunch of crap, a bunch of junk in the trunk, something that you think is real in your life that's not there. And I'm telling you, every one of us has some kind of journey like that you may or may not know of, something that's there that you got to identify prayerfully, hopefully, but identify that you got to let go. And it started for me many years ago. My mom was a single mom. My wife, my little brother and I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and all through growing up, all I saw was my mom being abused by her, my dad when he was young, when I was there, like when I was really young, 2 years old, 3 years old, a little bit, but then definitely boyfriend after boyfriend. And I saw cops coming over my home, violence, abuse, crazy, crazy stuff. And then all through high school, this sounds crazy to even say, but my nickname, did y'all have a nickname in high school? My nickname in high school was Stupid. Now, I'm being serious. I would walk through the halls, and Kevin Cahall, I'll mention his name. Kevin used to say, "Hey, what's up, stupid?" and high five me. Brian used to say, "Hey, what's up, stupid?" My nickname was Stupid. It started with one person that rippled to the next. And here's the weird thing. I actually knew I was stupid. I thought I was stupid. And I became more stupid. And in fact, it's weird to even say this, but it's crazy that I even think this back in the day. But when people used to ask me a question, I used to go and act stupid. I played the role of a stupid guy. It was the weirdest thing ever thinking back. But I acted that way with my grades. I literally got a 1.25 GPA. So I was smart enough to figure out how to pass back in 1991, but I definitely did not pay attention in school, and I played the role of the stupid kid with the second lowest GPA possible in the entire graduating class. And then something crazy happened. Oh, and at the same exact time, on the weekends, I would go hang out with my dad. And my dad hung out and was a part of a biker gang, just like the Hells Angels. So every weekend, I would have to pop my ego because my dad wanted to see who was the toughest biker kid. And I would have to fight kids and box and wrestle and run against them and do all these crazy athletic things to see who's got the toughest Hells Angel biker kid at all these Hells Angel bars and swap meets. I got proposition drugs and so much crazy stuff when I was 9, 10. I saw my dad beating up people and just the craziest things ever. So that was my upbringing. Single mom who couldn't control my brother and I. We pretty much raised ourselves, fed ourselves, and my mom did her best, by the way. If my mom's here, I love you. I'm eternally grateful for you. She worked 3 jobs to support us. She did her best, but she couldn't handle everything. So my brother and I would figure out how to eat in the morning sometimes, and she cooked, kind of. Love you, Mom, but cooking wasn't good then, good now. But anyways, so I grew up with a single mom who did her best, and I grew up thinking I was stupid from school, and I grew up with a biker dad where I learned how to have a massive ego and anger and just a lot of sick stuff that I'm been forgetting over the last many years. And then something crazy happened. Honey, can you help me with the muting? And then something crazy happened. I watched too much, and I was not a Christian back then, so bear with me. I watched too much Baywatch and too much Bonanza. Anybody ever tell me if you've ever watched Bonanza, okay? And I thought California was the place to go. So the day I graduated high school, I packed up my car, and a few days later, I moved out from Ohio to California because I was the dumb guy that was just going to do dumb things. And I just packed up my car and left. And when I moved to California, something very interesting happened. It was so weird. I was meeting new friends when I was going to a junior college because it was the only place that I can get in with no GPA was required your first 2 years or your first year. It was the only school I can go to. I thought I had to go to school and get a good education was the only way to make money in this world back then, because that's what I was programmed. That's the only thing you could do. So I moved out to Riverside, California, and then it was something weird happened. No one was calling me stupid, and I couldn't understand why they didn't understand that I was stupid. It was so weird. And so I still had this inside me that I was the dumb guy. And then one day something really profoundly changed my life. I was selling newspapers for the LA Times I want you guys to understand this, low income housing in Temecula, California. And this woman opens the door, and remember, low income housing, right? She opens the door, and here's what she said to me. Oh my, and I was pitching my deal, right? And she goes, oh my gosh, Earl, no joke, Earl. She's like, Earl, come here. And her husband was sitting in the lazy boy chair, like a big old guy drinking his beer. And she's like, Earl, look at this kid. I was 22 years old. This kid's amazing. I've never seen anything like him. He's the most amazing salesman in the world. And it was the first time in my life someone breathed life into me other than athletics, other than being able to be that strong guy or whatever. It was the first time someone breathed life into me, and she says, you've got to meet someone in my company. I don't know if it's for you or not, but let me at least give you a chance, kid. Can you meet me in Temecula, California at 7:00 on Thursday night? And I had no idea what it was. I didn't care if it was dog poo. Someone breathed life into me. And that was the moment that I went to my first network marketing presentation in 1992 or 3 for Primerica, financial services company back in the day. And that was the day that changed my life. And how did she recruit me? Did she tell me, oh my gosh, I'm in this financial services company, and oh, we make so much money, and my upline's Hector Lamarck, and the company's Primerica, and you'd be so good at it, and it's this. If she would have said any one of those little things, I wouldn't think of myself as a financial services expert. I would have been freaked out of her telling me that her upline was making millions of dollars. Any of that would have triggered pitchy, salesy, opportunity-ish. And I would have been like, no, thank you. I would have been like, this sounds weird. Do you guys get it? So this is the first training tip that I'm interweaving in the story, because I really wanted to put it right here. Because now that Kim and I are back in the trenches like never before, I realize the difference between some of you that are struggling and even getting people through your messaging groups or whatever you use, and those of you that are wildly succeeding, is some of you are loving on people, praising people, recognizing people, loving people through your process, and of course, giving a short invite of what you do. Hey, are you open to? Boom. Hey, if I get you some information, would you be interested? Hey, if I give you some interest, would you be open? Boom. Some of you are doing a great job with that simple bite-sized message. But some of you are like, hey, have you heard of blah, blah, blah? And it does blah, blah, blah. And it's, hey, have you heard of the opportunity? And you're using words like opportunity and all these kind of things. I was listening to two people yesterday. One of them was saying, hey, I know you've checked out my opportunity on XYZ, XYZ, and XYZ, and blah, blah, blah. And then I heard this other woman say, oh my gosh, you are so amazing. How in the world? And they were just praising and loving on this person first. And it was interesting. And it just dawned on me. That's the difference of what I do first to people. Okay. And listen, this is such a cliche, but there's so many of you that are new. It's a cliche because I've heard it 1,000 times, but it is so true. Okay. And I don't like repeating things that you hear maybe 1,000 times, but I pray that maybe you hear it, not just listen to the words, hear it, internalize it, and understand. If you're struggling with recruiting and going after your dreams, goals, and purpose, it could be because of understanding the depth of this. People don't care how much you know about how great your business is. They care about how much you care about them. And I know I butchered that, but I wanted to put it in a little bit different context. People care more that you care about them than they care about what you're pitching, what your product is, what you're offering, how great you think it is in your head because you're excited. I'm telling you, when you learn that art form, and again, I'm just going to be real basic right here because it works. I am requiring my kids, if they want to work with Kim and I in business, to go through the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is mind-blowing. If you are struggling with recruiting, read that book. If you're still struggling with recruiting, you need to read the book again. And then if for some reason you're still not recruiting, you need to read that book again. See, generic trainers might not tell you that because the answer of at least what taught me how to recruit came from that book. And a whole bunch of dates too when I was single before Kim. Okay, let's move on. I'm so glad. Anyways, all right. So because of this industry, I went from, I had to overcome things. I had to overcome a lot. And the way that I did it is as I started listening to audio tapes and cassettes and training like this on personal growth. And then of course, over the years, I was at a business event where I got to know my Heavenly Father and became a Christian at a network marketing business event. Talk about purpose in our industry. When you learn how to go from transactional building in our industry, oh my gosh, I got to get to the next rank. Oh my gosh, I got to hit this goal. When you go from that to transforming not only your life, but other people's lives.
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you. Honey, can you help me with the muting with Elaine here? There we go. So when you understand that you're not in the rank business, you're not in your product business or service business, you're not in the network marketing industry, when you realize this is just a vehicle, it's a model, it's a great way to leverage in freedom. But when you realize this is really a transformational business, a transformational vehicle that can radically change marriages, financial pressure, that can radically change people's spiritual growth and definitely leadership and personal growth. It can help people go from where they've been their whole life of being called stupid or abused or sexually abused or physically abused or mentally abused or told they're not going to be anything in life and having fears and doubts and procrastinating. People can go from that crap that's a lie that maybe some of you have been carrying on like I have my whole life. And you could take all of that and let it go. For me, I didn't understand my first many years how big my ego was in this industry. And even though I was transforming with spiritual and personal growth, I was still carrying around a bigger ego than I even understood. And then I was carrying around something that many people have in this world that is a big disease. It's a real thing, but it's not really real. It's only real because I think it's real based on my generations of my family history. My great-grandpa, I recognized and heard stories about him having this. And then it came into my grandfather. And then it went into my mom. And then it went into me. And you know what that is? Some of you have it. Poverty mindset. I've made millions of dollars in this industry. But when I get money in the past, it's like a hot potato. Oh my gosh, Kim, we have money. We got to burn it. How do we get rid of this thing? Boom, let's get rid of it. Poverty mindset. When you're afraid to invest into training, but you want to get people to buy your training, poverty mindset. That was me for years. Oh no, I was a cheapskate that didn't know how to keep money. Isn't that weird? I didn't want to sow seeds into my church and tithe. I was the worst tither I know, and I know that I'm supposed to give, and I will be blessed. And I know that I'm supposed to give because it's not my money. I know that I'm supposed to feed the poor, but I'm just telling you behind the scenes, I had a poverty mindset. I didn't tithe. I didn't give. I was not a good giver. And I also had a victim. Some of you may have this as well. A victim of, well, I'm ADD, I'm distracted. And I also have, and I've never mentioned this, criticism. And I'm telling you, if you are not, even after 25 years of doing this industry, I have caught myself getting critical again, more critical than when I was in my 20s and 30s in network marketing. To my babies, my wife sometimes, critical, right? Like, why'd you do that? You know, and I know why they did it. Why do I have to put her on the spot? Why do I have to put my kids in this? So I catch myself, if I'm not spiritually or personally or leadership growing, if you do not continually feed your body, you will die. If you do not feed your lungs oxygen, you will die. If you do not feed your body liquid, water, you will die. If you do not feed your brain will go backwards, right? It will. This is not theory. Your brain will start retracting back to your old junk in your trunk of your 6-year-old abuse or whatever is a trauma or a junk in the trunk or a weight that you're holding on to. Okay. And then the big wake up call for me in this industry, even though Kim and I became top recruiters in network marketing in our 20s, we reached the highest levels of every company we've been in almost. We made multiple 6-figure income because of that poverty mindset, because of that ego, and because of that victimhood of trying to do multiple network marketing streams and a whole bunch of other dumb things I did. And because we owned a network marketing company that went out of business, I reached a point in life that I thought I would never reach. It went from a multi-million-dollar lifestyle to being completely flat broke. And 2 days before Christmas, my wife and I heard a huge noise out in the driveway. When we rushed out there, my baby daughter, who is 4 years old, she's now 20, it's crazy. Morgan said to me in front of my whole family, felt like it was the first sentence she ever fully said that I really stood up. She said, "Daddy, where are they taking our cars?" Our second car was repossessed 2 days before Christmas. And I said, that's it. I knew I had a poverty mindset at that point. I knew I had a big fat ego. I knew I needed to become more humble. I knew I needed to get rid of the excuse of ADD. I knew I needed to prune out distractions, good distractions, okay distractions. I knew I had to prune out the idea of trying to do 300 companies at the same time, or even 3 companies, or even 2 companies at the same time. I know I had to prune out trying to do multiple systems and multiple processes and multiple websites and multiple videos and multiple ways. I knew I had to prune out all the different ways that everybody says is the best way to build network marketing. And I said, for 1 year, I'm going to be the Michael Phelps, the Tiger Woods. I'm going to be the best that God created me to be in this industry. For 1 year, I'm going to just see what God can do through me. For 1 year, I want to see how many people I can bless. For 1 year, I'm going to make this my purpose-driven mission of transforming lives. And for 1 year, I'm going to enroll people at the best ability possible, like it's my job. And I was getting paid $50,000 a day if I just enrolled one person a day every single day. And you want to know what happened when I put that focus on? I enrolled 1 to 3 people every single day. And I worked less than 3 hours as an average. And our team radically duplicated. Why? Because I said, what does my team really need to accomplish their goals and dreams? And I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm going to give you the formula that I came up with many years ago that built massive teams in this industry. And more importantly, what I'm about to give you right now is even 1,000 times more specific, because Kim and I are in the trenches. My wife referred 13 women using this process of focus of one system, not two systems, not three systems, not two different websites, one simple process to replicate through your team. And let me just be clear about a system. Let me be clear about steps. Every single step in every single system in the entire history of our industry, you're always going to think it's flawed. And if you don't think it's flawed, and if you don't think it's not perfect, I promise you and guarantee you a majority of your team over time will think it doesn't work. Even though it's working for, let's say, Amy White, even though it's working for maybe Michelle Barnes, even though it's working for all these, for some reason for them, they think the system that you're talking about with your company is not really working for them and their team. Why? It's because of their years of fear, doubt. Maybe they're having a challenge with their spouse. Maybe they have massive financial hurts and pressure. And when people are carrying around, and I wish I had it right now, I'm gonna take an intermittent break. If you want to grab a water, I'll be back in 10 seconds. I forgot my prop. Your people think systems don't work or they can't do this business for whatever reason because, again, they might be carrying around that they're stupid, right? Try to run a mile race or win with baggage. This right here represents junk in that your new team member's heart, their mind, maybe you too. Again, this could be the junk of fear, procrastination, abuse, afraid to speak because their dad or mom was aggressive, passive aggressive, whatever it is, right? Maybe they're a procrastinator. Maybe they have too big of an ego, like I did. Maybe they have a poverty mindset. And when people carry around, when people carry around these weights, right? When people carry these around, how in the world can they succeed in your company? Just telling you, it's tough. It's tough. What they'll have to do is grind for no's, like a lot of trainers teach, which is fine. They'll have to dial for dollars and connect with thousands of people to get maybe one person to prayerfully say yes because it's just the perfect timing for that. And does it work if you carry around baggage? Can you actually build a business with baggage? Yeah, because this industry is so stupid simple. And I use that word on purpose. It's so simple. It's so simple that even though your team is going to have baggage, even though you're going to have some junk in the trunk, our industry is the simplest industry in the history of the world. Man, when you believe that, you will become more unstoppable. But even though you could still succeed with some fears and some procrastination and some things and some junk, even though you can, man, wouldn't you want to just rip it off? When you rip it off is when you go beyond where you think you're at right now. Way beyond your dreams, okay? Let me give you an example. Because we are in the industry of peeling back layers, right? And every seminar, and I would love to tell you that this seminar that you're going through, this virtual summit that you're going through with some leaders, I would love to tell you and give you the false hope that it's going to be 100% of what you need. But I'm going to tell you this, if you take one thing from one speaker or two things that really resonated with you, it might shut off a 5% of junk, maybe 10. I pray more, but I know that it's a journey. I want you to understand something, what it took for me to be where I'm at right now. When this stupid COVID thing's done, you need to get your butt to a live event. You need to get yourself to every convention, every leadership retreat that your company or leadership puts on. Local community and local training and events is the fastest way to transform a life. This is secondary right here, but it's the best we can do. You got to get yourself to the next live event, wherever that is. If Tom Challan didn't go to live event, I don't know if I could have survived in a virtual world only 100% for the rest of my career. I needed to be around fellowship of people that can spank me live at local events where I was forced to sit in the front row, right? My first mentor, I went through hundreds of seminars. My next mentor was Sherry Sharman, 50 plus. With Danny Johnson, 50 seminars, 50 months in a row at $1,000 a piece. How'd I invest $1,000 a month? I kept making more money because I kept growing my team so fast. So again, I'm not saying you have to go to a seminar live, local every month, but you must get to them as fast as possible and feed your brain. Because here's what I've learned. Here's what I've learned. And this is about stretching. Imagine you were born to go after your dreams and your purpose. Imagine that your goal right now may be $1,000 a month in residual income from your family. And that's your first goal. And I want you to know that obviously it's very achievable. And obviously I can't guarantee your income, but I know this. If you add another zero, there's not that much difference from 1,000 to 10,000. And then there's not that much difference when you're making 10,000, as long as you stay focused. And as long as you do the thing I'm about to tell you right now that changed my life, which is a thing that grew my teams, and it's what we're doing right now. We invite people, simple and short, love the heck out of them. When we invite, it's urgency in our mind. It's quick and it's fast. It doesn't pitch. It doesn't sell. It doesn't bug. It's, hey, I launched a new XYZ. Are you open to taking a peek? I was thinking of you because I know how amazing you are with people. I know how awesome you are at fitness. Are you cool to check it out? Miss Universe, that's what I did with her. In fact, I wish I could play it, but it's a little custom. You know what, I want to play it. Just so you can see, I'm just like a little kid. Hey, oh my gosh, you're amazing. And again, just really simple. So you learn how to invite. That's number one. I'm going to give you the whole system right now. This is network marketing 101, 102, 1000. Invite well. Number two, you invite them to some kind of messaging process. And I'm going to tell you right now, I will challenge any networker in the world, and maybe they could show me better numbers, but there is nothing working better than a Facebook group right now. Doesn't mean you can't send them a YouTube video. It doesn't mean you can't send an app video that tracks things. Those all work great. But I initially, and I heard a trainer saying this is a secondary method. I disagree. I'm in the trenches. I see what's working personally to millions of dollars a month in volume, not just me and Kim, but thousands of people that I coach, and I see what's working. Sending people to a Facebook group is the best first impression. If you want to do a Zoom, those work beautiful too. I like the ATM because it incubates. Even though it takes more steps, even though it takes more work to get people through the process, it's still the best thing I've ever seen in 25 years. And I am a fanatic at finding the best way to build a business. I don't want to waste time. I want to build a big team. So I've seen this personally work for Kim and I and so many other people. Now, again, if your company just does home parties or gatherings or presentations, Kim and I have been doing that for 25 years. It's not broken. It will still work as step number two. But again, if you have an ATM system, use it. Use it as, and my recommendation is it's a good primary. But I know some people are crushing it with Zooms. But at the end of the day, here's what matters. It's not necessarily the mechanism here that works. It's how you work this mechanism. It's how you work this message here, whether it's an ATM first or a Zoom first. If I had to live and die by just doing Zooms first, I can adjust my team and we would do Zooms first, like we've done over the last 20 years with webinars that are like Zooms now. Same thing. It works, but use it. So whether it's a Zoom or an ATM, they both work, okay? I just have a personal preference that I see working really well. Okay, so that's number two. And number three is you need to follow up and enroll people. Now, of course, there's more steps, and everybody swears by, oh no, it's 4 steps, Tom, and it's 5 steps. Look, when you really break down the steps, there's hundreds of steps. The reason why I focus on 3 is because even though people need to learn more than 4 or 5 or 6 steps, like so many companies try to say that there's 6 steps and there's 10 steps. My first companies for 15 years was 30 steps. Okay, step number 1, you need to get your warm market list. Step number 2, let me see if I can remember a few. You need to invite people. Then you need to learn how your back office works. Then you need to learn how the compensation works. Then you need to learn how to place people. Then you need to learn the edification of a three-way call. And there was 30 of those steps, right? And then I learned more is good, but more in our industry is not good. It's not better. And if you can just get your team, even though they'll learn more over time, I'll just give you a case study right now. The first 4 months that Kim launched with 13 women, the website wouldn't work to save our life. The enrollments, it stunk. The inventory sold out like crazy. It wasn't the perfect quality of product in the beginning, what she was doing. Nothing was working that well. But you want to know something? No one knew anything. There was no back office training. There was no compensation training. There was no other competing Facebook ATM systems. There was no corporate systems. There was no other fancy videos that other leaders were putting out. And I'm not saying, what I'm saying is this: people had one option, one system, one way, and it was the fastest duplication during the hardest time that the company technology was going. It was the most geometric compounding process I've ever seen. And when all these different things started coming into play, well, what about this system? And what about doing this now? And what about doing it with this app now? What I just said, guys, trust me, I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been down this road. More isn't better, even if it is better. It might even be better. The other website might even be better. But if you're half your team straddling the fence of thinking, well, maybe I should put my people on that presentation and this webinar and with this leader, and you're toast. You're toast. It doesn't mean you can't moonlight. It doesn't mean you can't go into that system and learn as an independent leader, but you got to replicate and duplicate. You got to think like In-N-Out Burger. You got to think like McDonald's. They do it one way, one process, one system, not 3 systems, not 2 systems, okay? So I'm telling you, this is important. If you're struggling, it may not just be because of this. It might not be because of your own mindset and your own stuff that you got to overcome. It might mean that because of lack of maybe not being down this road like Kim and I as much, or understanding more is not better, even though it appears when you're new to this network. So when people get stalled out, it's because they're confused. They use the word frustration. And I'm telling you, you've got to be very careful to prune out. It doesn't, and here's what I would recommend. Find your upline system. If they're doing Zooms effectively, crush it. If they're doing webinars, crush it. If you see success wildly, go all in with that one system and don't moonlight with 300 other systems. Just pick systems and keep it as short and as simple as possible. I don't teach compensation up front for my new people. I don't teach back office training. I don't teach all the integral details and all these things. It's good to teach that over time. It's good that people learn those things over time, but it's not good to try to replicate that through the duplication process. All your people can handle is, it might take your team a year how to perfect inviting, and then inviting to a message, and then following up the way they should and enrolling. Every single step right here could take you, now you can have success immediately, but it still takes time to learn all the integrals of this. And I'm almost done. So what should you do? You need to make a line in the sand right now. So like I told you, some of you need to make a commitment right now. Some of you, your goal is 5,000 a month. I'm here to tell you the difference between, like I talked about, 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month is this much difference. And I'm even going to challenge a couple of you. If you got a purpose for giving back to feeding people and giving back to what's possible, your calling may not be to make 100,000 a month. But why not just serve people and let's see what happens? Why not set a goal of whatever it is? And I'm telling you, you want to know why people stall out at 10,000 a month? Because they set that goal and they never go beyond it. And they go like this. They hit 10,000 a month and they're like, oh, man, that was awesome. Woo! And if you're not growing at 10,000 a month, you might go back to 9, then maybe 8,500 a month. And then maybe over time, you might go back to 7. So you might as well set a goal beyond anything you can think is conceivable, maybe right now. I promise you. And I will tell you, over time, you'll find out that the new normal is 100,000 a month for some of you. Some of you are here just to make some extra income. Some of you are here just to pay off your house. But I know there's a handful of you right now that I want you to understand thinking big is just as simple. Thinking really big is just as simple. And there's a few of you, and I don't want to scare all of you, but $1 million a month is going to become the new normal in our industry for leaders who stay focused long enough, who transform enough, who grow into the leadership they're developed to be, and stay consistent as can be. And it may not be from an ego perspective. It may not be from a materialistic need a bigger home perspective. But if you're transforming lives, why the heck would you stop? If you know, based on many principles, many of them come from the Bible, they originally come from the Bible, that, retirement is not necessarily, I mean, you could be financially independent, but I don't see anything about retirement in the Bible. We're supposed to sow into people and transform lives and make disciples and bless people. And the cool thing about network marketing and team building, man, I think it's a better vehicle for transformation. And I'm going to say it, than any of the biggest guru speakers in the history of the world. They're impact makers. And they're maybe way better speakers and trainers than me, but we're in the industry where we don't just go to a seminar to transform lives. We have people that are captive in our cultures every single day, every single week in our messaging boards, every single day, every single week in our Facebook or chat communities, every single day, every single week in our Zoom communities, every single day, every single week, every single year in our retreats, at our conventions where we get the hug, not just for once a year for a Tony Robbins seminar or twice or 3 times, which is golden. And I recommend it, by the way. I'm not diminishing it because he's way more powerful in speaking, training, leadership than I am. But my point is that we have a different environment of a culture where you can continually transform people's lives. Okay. So are you ready to do your best to draw that line in the sand? Are you ready to make a commitment to yourself, to your purpose, to maybe your creator, to maybe your spouse, maybe your kids? I've been telling my kids for 20 some years since Morgan was born, we're going to get a ranch. I promise. Not gotten my ranch. Poverty mindset, lack of focus, one. Trying to do 300 companies, one. Trying to own a network marketing company and own a training company and be a distributor in a company and own a software company didn't win for me. Too much for me. I'm really good at recruiting and duplicating. I'm really good at one thing. And I will predict, if I got to know all of you, and I coach every day, all day for 13 years straight, people pay me a lot of money for one-on-one coaching. Most of you, not all of you, but most of you, your job is to prune out all the other attraction marketing, build the big brand, build the click funnels. And I do all that. Is to prune out most of what you think you need in network marketing and learn how to love a human being. Learn how to send a birthday wish like you've never done before. Learn how to do this. I'm just going to show you one right now. Just one. Okay. And some of you I did this in front of a group of women that were on my home yesterday. There's a woman on here right now, Chloe. I'm loving on her. You know why? Because she's a freaking baller. She's on here. She's a rock star from France, moved to Australia, and she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be a top leader with Kim and I, opening up Australia and France and Europe, right? She doesn't know it yet, but she might now, right? Right? Because Kim and I have a connection with this woman. She doesn't know us well, but we've been chatting. She's amazing. And I'm being presumptuous. I don't know for sure, obviously, but I do know that I like her, and I know that we like each other and we might do life together as friends, family friends. She's got an amazing story, by the way. And who else? Let me just share with you a few. I send birthday videos every day. My goal is to send a birthday video to every single human being. If you're in my Facebook as a friend, you're not a Facebook friend to me. My goal is to sit, and I'm doing this new, but my goal is to be like we're going to do life together. And if I don't want to do life with you or be in business with you, I'm removing you off my Facebook friends if I can't send a Facebook message off you. All right, I'm getting off on a little bit of marketing stuff. Sorry, let me get back on track. We're almost done. Commit 100%. Action, okay? Action suffocates fear. Hans Johnson said that to me for the first time. He got this from the military. When you're afraid to go into gun battle, the only way to not for sure get shot, because if you're afraid in a gun battle and you're trying to be preserving, you're trying to conserve yourself and be like, sit back, you're the one that's going to get shot most likely. But the one that goes the fastest forward, right? The one that takes the action with the right strategic steps are the ones that win. And when you take the most action, you build muscles of prospecting, muscles of inviting, muscles of getting people through your ATM or your Zoom or whatever you do, muscles of following up and enrolling. And some of you, I'm just going to say it because I love you. You're flabby, not physically, not going there. But I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 25 years. Many of you have flabby prospecting muscles. You need to build them like any other muscle, okay? You need to take action even when you think you don't know everything. You need to take action when maybe you haven't succeeded in the past. You need to take action if you're broke. You need to take action if you're not making much money. You need to take action even if you worked so hard to recruit a few people or one and they're not working. You really need to take action then, right? Because you need to continually show people what it's like to be simple, what it's like to duplicate. And the number one thing you need to do is make a commitment and take action. If you know that you want to duplicate, who needs to be a part of this virtual summit? Who needs to listen to this message? You need to go into the Facebook group right now that you're a part of. World Changers, go there in a few minutes. Whatever team you're a part of, if you're part of Savvy, go into the Savvy Facebook group right after this call in a couple minutes. And you need to get your team tagged into there and tell them to register right now. We'll probably never do a virtual summit. It's only timing of where we're at right now. Probably never do it. It's very rare that we do this. This training that you're going to get right now is a $500 training that we do at live events for years. For 10 years, we've been doing these live events. You're getting it virtual right now. We just decided to give it back. Kim and I are blessed financially, building a team thanks to my wife who kickstarted this crazy movement that she's doing. But we're going to relaunch World Changers around the world and raise up leaders, trainers, speakers. Kim and I's vision for World Changers is to raise up you who wants to. The number one way to learn to be a leader is learn to train and speak even when you don't want to. So we're creating a training speaker system where we're going to be training up leaders and speakers to be training on stages around the world. So if you are Chloe and you met me, you're going to be speaking in Australia or wherever you live around the world or wherever you want to speak. And we're going to be rotating speakers around the world if that's a desire of yours. But none of it's going to matter. None of it's going to matter unless you go all in. You're here a year from now. You make a 1-year commitment to do one thing. The best that you have the capability to do, and the best that you can do is far beyond what you think is possible. I'm going to end with this one last quick story. I grew in my late 20s. I have a massive back spasm. I walk around as a 240-pound man like this, like I'm 70 years old. I walk around like this in my late 20s and early 30s, right? And late 30s. And I never in a million years thought I would ever be able to jog again because of a wrestling injury. I never thought I would be athletic. I never thought I would be as lean. I'm the leanest I've been since high school. I'm at the same weight as I was in high school, right? 185, 190 pounds. So how did that happen? I didn't listen that I'm going to have back pain. My dad literally is not on this planet anymore. He died so young because he claimed he had bad knee that turned into overweight, that turned into heart issues, that turned into diabetes, that turned into gout, that turned into excuses that makes me mad that he's not here right now. All of it was his brain telling him lies. The lies that you have are just that, lies. Just recently, I didn't think it was possible for a 47-year-old man to be wrestling full contact jiu-jitsu with strong 200-pound black belt jiu-jitsu guys. I started a week ago, and every joint in my body is sore. But what it's taught me is that I'm going to be in my 50s, my late 40s and my 50s and my 60s, and we'll see where God takes it in my 70s and 80s. I'm going to be 1,000 times stronger ligaments, and every little fiber of every finger is sore. My neck right now, if I'm leaning forward, is sore, but I'm pain makes you stronger. Challenges make you stronger. And if you're trying to be happy, you'll never get there by trying to just be easy. Being happy is going through a struggle. Being happy is going through challenges. Being happy is learning how to overcome extreme criticism in your team and people talking behind your back or in front of you. Matt, I deal with so many challenges every day, and God showed me something the other day, like I'm learning in jujitsu and getting back in shape again. The only way I'm going to accomplish my purpose in life is to do something that's the hardest thing for Tom Challan to do. I put problems under the rug my whole life. Anytime I have a finance, Kim and I won't go into much detail, but you have no idea how messed up I've been financially. I can make 50, 60, 100 grand a month, and our lights will get shut off because we just don't look at our phone bill. In the California freeway here, there is a toll road that's only like 80 cents every time you go on it. But because I don't pay the bill sometimes in the past, that bill turns into hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We pay thousands of dollars in tolls, poverty mindset. So I have to let things go, and putting things under the rug of leadership issues, of challenges that hit me, adversity, people criticizing me and Kim or me. You've got to learn, if you're going to be a leader in this industry, you've got to just learn that challenges, people issues, things that you're dealing with right now are supposed to happen, and they're completely unavoidable. And the worst thing you could do is quit because the challenges are too hard with your company, because it is hard to do this industry. It's beyond stupid simple. It's beyond ridiculously easy, simple. The process, it's so simple. What's hard is people and junk in the trunk that you have and we have and everybody has on your team. But if you learn to embrace that that is supposed to make you stronger, the adversity, the criticism, the challenges, the people telling you, I trusted you. I came in for the top package and it's not working. Hey, there's no inventory. Why'd you say this was the quality of the best thing? It's not working. You got to learn to embrace challenges. And it's still very, very difficult for me because I'm a weenie, but I'm not anymore. I break that. Weeniness. Can't believe I called myself a weenie, but that is an area of weakness for me. But I'm not going to take it out anymore. How about you? All right. If you're ready to go all in and you're ready to commit to yourself and your dreams and your family and your goals and your purpose, I want you to just say, yes or something else very powerful in the comments on Facebook right now as we're done. Chloe, I love you. Even though you're my new friend, you're so funny. See, Chloe's still here. And Chloe may be prospecting me, but I'm prospecting her. And one day God's going to put us together for something. Who knows what it might be? But you understand, I'm not trying to say you need to join my business right now. I'm just getting to know Chloe and all these people that I've invited and met over the internet for the last 10 years. Yes, Joanne. Yes, Ruby. Yes, Rachel. Yes, Amy. Is that Amy White? Is Amy White here? Yes, our Lord is going to bless us all. Yes, Amy Schroeder. Yes, Amy. Yes, Elaine. Yes, Ben. Good to see you, buddy. Jill, Amy. Yes, Amy White's here. See, Amy White she's a monster leader. She's going to be one of our keynote speakers, everybody. And she's here learning. Yes, Brad and Amy. Yes, Shirley. Yes, Angela. Amy Schroeder. Okay, awesome. And Amy White's here too, by the way. Yes, Christy. Kenna, you're here still. Yes. All right, let's wrap it up. I love you guys so much. It's the beginning of the journey. There's no call next week, no World Changer, no virtual summit. The following Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, make sure your people register so they could be a part of this, okay? Kenna, you're going to be a big speaker one day. Yes, thank you so much, Jill. All right, love you guys so much. Kim, thank you so much. Stephen Robbins, thank you so much for helping put this whole thing together. If your people were not able to get into this live, make sure they watch the replay. We'll get the replay out if you're a world changer, or it's in the Facebook group already. Okay? All right. God bless you all. I love you. And we'll see you in a couple Saturdays from now. Hey, by the way, real quick, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something as an option. This may bug some of you, but if you want to go, please take off right now. But I do want to pray for you if that's okay. I want to pray for you. If you're not into the prayer thing, if you hate the prayer thing, it's okay, right? Stick around anyways. You'll be surprised. Pray. When I learned how to pray for one thing, discernment, God gave me a discernment for the heart of what a human really needs. It was a supernatural thing for me, believe it or not. When I learned discernment through people, it changed my life. And of course, much more. So let me pray for you. If you want to take off, it's optional. It's only going to be less than a minute. You ready? Okay, here we go. So Lord, we just thank you so much for every brother and sister and man and woman, everybody that entrusted this time to be here to grow, Lord. And I pray, Lord, that your Holy Spirit will teach them what they need to learn to overcome what they need to overcome and forgive who they need to forgive, who they need to release, let go, not forget, but at least forgive the person that hurt them. They need to let that go right now so they could be free. They could be free to run in their calling of what they're supposed to be. Lord, I pray that you will give them supernatural discernment, build the muscles that they need to withstand the challenges of this crazy life that we live on, the journey of pain and suffering and fun and freedom and all the good and challenging. Lord, give them the strength, your strength that only comes from you. Lord, we just pray for clarity. We pray for purpose. We pray this in your name, Jesus. Amen. All right, Star, you're a trooper for being on video the whole time. Look at you.
Thank you, Tom.
You bet. All right, I'm going to unmute if you guys want to say goodbye. Those of you that are on Zoom, you're all unmuted. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Goodbye,
you.
everyone.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. God bless you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks,
Tom.
Tom.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you
Lisa.
so much.
Bye, Shirley.
We love you. You guys are
Thank
Definitely
amazing.
needed this.
Bye, Jeff. Got some dudes
How
here.
to end.
Good
How
to
do I
see you.
end?
Thank you, Tom. That was
Bye,
awesome.
Tom.
Glad
You're
you
awesome.
made me.
Tom.
Good to see you guys. Good to see couples on here. It's not easy to be in business together sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Jeff. Chloe, bye, sister.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, Rachel. Bye, Christine. Bye, Kelly. Bye, Sarah. Bye, Jessica. Kellamar. Sarah. Christine. Joanne. Sarah. Tell us. Ben, what's up, champ? All right, Lisa. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank
Annie.
you.
Great to see you, Annie.
Bye.
Hola. All right. Bye, everybody.